Hello, hello, hello. Hey now, hey now. How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Ask Alma. Hey, hey, hey. I'm your host, Alma. Yes, that is me. That is me. Where are you? Where are you? Light up the chat so I can say hello. Say hello to me so I can say hello to you. Mary Lou, Tracy, the gang, Demeen, Ayana, cousins on the left, cousins on the right. Where y'all at? I love my cousins and I love when they watch. Hello, 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 and welcome to Ask Alma. So happy that you're here. We have a fantastic show in store for you this evening. And hey, Pat, how you doing? I'm so glad you're here. We have a fun show tonight, full of fantastic questions. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Pat, I'm looking forward to hearing your comments as well. We want you guys to put some stuff in the chat. Let us know how you feel. All of us don't always agree, and that's fine. Most people don't agree with me anyway, and that's fine. I have learned to live with it. Tracy, girl, what's going on? Look, Tracy, can you see? You see my gray? It is what it is. Mary Lou, hey Diva, what's going on? Mary Lou, I meant to call you before the show. I didn't have time. I put on my pink jacket today and reached in the pocket. Guess what I found? Girl, the Bluetooth we've been looking for that you said was here. And I said, it's not here. It's not here. It's here. I found it. So I'll get it back to you. Hey now, where's Sharon? Hey, come on in, come on in. I'm so glad y'all here. I miss you from Tuesday to Tuesday. I do. I want to let y'all know that tonight's questions are something else. Okay. I'm so glad you guys are emailing. Always ask Alma at gmail.com. Keep the questions coming in because, yeah, they're good. And we want to help you any way that we can. Hi, Gail. How you doing? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring in my beautiful people, my panel, smart and beautiful. You know how those kind of people are. That's who we have on the panel tonight. Come on in, panel. Come on in. Hi, Bessie. Hi, Bessie. Hey, Dee Dee.
Just kind of popped up. Wait, how are you?
I'm good.
Good,
Hi,
good, good. Hi,
Javon.
Jamal. Hi, Maurice.
Hi, Alma.
Morning.
Hi, Dean.
Marie.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
got the handsome in the house tonight. I'm so happy about that. Beauty and brains. That's what we rolling with on the panel tonight. Except for me, but it's always got to be an exception and everything, right?
Uh,
So how is everybody doing? Welcome, welcome to the show. How y'all doing? Why my phone ringing? Like who's calling me? You ain't watching the show. Like really, Carla? I put you on blast, girl. I should answer. Can I answer Norman real fast? Just to embarrass her. Why she say, oh, I'm sorry, Carla, girl? I put you on speaker because I'm doing my show, and now you right on the screen. So log on and watch. Log on and watch. I'll call you back when it's over. Okay? I
she said,
knew she
ooh,
was
okay,
gonna say,
bye.
"Oh, okay, bye."
That's wrong. That's so
Sean,
wrong.
how you
Hi,
doing?
Tracy. Hi, Sean. Hi, Mary Lou.
I'm gonna cut her a
Tina,
break because
Rosie.
she
Hi,
is
Rosie.
actually away at a conference. So I'm sure there's a time difference where she is. And she's thrown off for a minute.
Right.
Rosie, how you doing? Hey Rosie, do me a favor. Send a text to Judith and Van and tell them to watch and say hi so I can say hi back to them. Hi David, David Childs. I'm so glad you're with us. Hey David, how you doing? Ayana girl, I already shouted you out. But anyway, tonight we're gonna get started. Oh wait, before we get started, I want to ask y'all a question because so the other day I made a change in my life. Like this, it sounded like it's deep. It's not deep. But anyway, I had done something like all my life and I made a switch. And I'm just going to tell you what it is. No judgment. But
You don't want us to judge you.
either way, however this comes out. But
Okay.
what I want to know, I'm going to start with my panel. But what I want to know from you guys and what I want to know from everybody watching is what have you done similar to what I'm getting ready to tell you that I did? Okay,
Okay.
okay. So, all my life, I have used spray deodorant. It's just my thing. I'm sorry. I like
I didn't
spray.
even know they still made it
Like, I like
in the big
spray.
old cloud in the bathroom.
Right.
No, it's not like it lets you know that it's coming on, it's working, you see it. Like,
Polar ice caps are melting as we
Right.
speak.
it's just my thing. I don't like roll on. Roll on is like, oh, I just can't
You
do it.
just need the dry roll on
But well, no, I tried that too.
and the
No,
clear that doesn't
no, I
have any
don't like the
color.
clear. I just like the spray. It's just my
So why did you
preference.
stop using it?
Because I ran out and I only had a roll on
Okay.
in the
So it
in the
wasn't like a
medicine closet.
conscious decision
So it's out of
to
necessity.
out
It
of
was out of
necessity. So are
necessity.
you gonna
Yeah.
go back or now that you've
First of
moved
all,
on?
First of all, truth be told, because that's how we do on Ask Alma, we just gonna put the truth out there. First of all, the roll on was like 2 years old. I didn't know they came with the
Mm.
expiration date. Did y'all know that? Check the dates. So I was
Everything
I
has
like,
don't know if I
expiration
keep it
date.
that long.
well,
Right.
see, I don't use it. So I had it that long for an
It was a
emergency.
backup to your backup?
It
Like
was a
what?
backup to my backup. Yes,
Was this a
absolutely.
pre-COVID person?
It was way before COVID because
Right.
I
usually you
think
get a good
so.
2-3 years. So if it's
Right.
already expired, it's been around a long time.
I think it was a pre-COVID, so I had to use it. But I like spray, so since I shouldn't be using the spray. I don't even know why they still sell it if they don't want us to use it. But I was thinking after all these years to evolve and start using roll-on deodorant. Bessie says she changed to Dove deodorant.
Mhm.
Oh, see, that's my
Do they
question.
still make
Exactly.
pants?
Exactly. Like, what was something that you
Mm.
just did forever because it was your thing and that's what you did? And then, like, you changed and you started using something different or doing something different. Like, I give y'all a minute to think about it.
I used to drink in the morning. I don't anymore. No.
You
Well,
used to,
we could
wait, no.
just dive right on
Uh-uh.
in.
Pop that one.
Okay.
Javon, no, she used to drink with ice in the glass in the morning.
No, I'm just taking it to the head.
Now
No,
she just
I'm
sip
trying
it on
to.
the way to the car.
It isn't something that I intentionally did, but I had a chronic fear of being not accepted into graduate school, so I just didn't apply. For years and
I
years and years, I
remember.
wanted to go, and I just didn't apply. And COVID hit, and you got that, girl, do it.
Do it now.
And I did it, and I got in. But
Which we all
I could
knew
have done
that.
this 20 years ago.
I don't know why you
But
didn't
that
know.
wasn't the time. Obviously, that
Right.
wasn't the time when I should have been doing it, and I'm doing it now. So that's the
Exactly.
only thing I can think
Exactly.
of. I
That was
haven't
perfect
stopped
timing.
anything. I don't think I've stopped anything.
Or switched anything. Hey, Charlene.
Are we talking about husbands?
Andrea. No.
Okay. Then no,
Uh,
I got
I'm
nothing.
not.
Wow.
I got
Wow.
nothing on that one.
This is a tough act to follow now.
Maurice, so you doing the same thing? You doing the exact same thing you've been doing for the last 30 years. Okay, because
What?
here's something else. I was trying to get my husband to stop putting creases in his pants. He ain't gonna
You
stop.
can't. You
No.
can't
Like
do him
Brother
like that.
Gill
I
put a
need to
crease
defend him.
in, sweatpants,
I
dress
am here
pants,
to defend
jeans.
him. He
There he
is an
is.
OG. I am here to defend him.
He
He
is
is
an
an
OG.
OG.
That's right.
Um,
He's gonna do it.
the only thing I can think of is growing up, Haitian and Dominican parents, you had bread on top of bread. So
Yes.
we ate bread for everything. If I didn't have bread with my meal, I would make toast.
Oh,
And
okay.
when I was getting ready to retire, we did they just do random testing. So they did a gluten test.
Mm-hmm.
So this was in 2016. In 2021, I found out I had a gluten allergy. 5 years later. They have said,
Oh.
"Hey, do you remember taking a test in like 2016?" And I was like, "Well, no, that was like 5 years ago." They were
Right.
like, "Well, you have, gluten, tolerance issues." So I had to give up bread and all those different things. I'm still
So
going through rehab. It's
I
it's
was getting ready to say, yeah. So did you have it 5 years ago, or you didn't 5 years ago, and then they found out 5 years later?
No, I've had it apparently for years,
The whole
but they did the test and
time.
they never told me the results. So
Oh, okay.
they pulled up and said, "Hey, you never got the results of this." And
Oh my
so,
goodness.
I've cut out breads and different things on my diet.
Oh, that's hard. But they do
Yeah,
have gluten-free bread. You know that.
it's
I eat
horrible.
gluten-free.
It's it,
It's not that bad.
it's a brick. I can take it.
Right.
I wouldn't know what gluten free, but
But we
I can
had
put
good
it
gluten free in New York, so
right.
it's
But they refuse to
possible.
tell us where they got it.
Really?
But you can put it on your as a replacement tire. Everything. No gluten free bread.
It's a
It's
good
low for
spare, but
you.
it's not working to get you where you need to be, right?
You know,
I loved
it's a great spare tire.
Bessie. Bessie had a comment that says, "As I got older, the roll-on was irritating me. I saw an ad that Dove was hood for women of color." She meant this was good, but I was like, "Oh, I love that. It's
Hood for
good."
women of
I
color.
He fixed it later.
That's
I meant
funny.
good.
She wanted to be gangster with her deodorant.
Right. She is gangster too. She'll be on the show.
Wow.
She'll be on the panel next week. So hey
Okay.
now, thank you, Bessie. Yes, Bessie and the Crunch Bunch will be on next week. Um, so let's see. Sean said he loves his creases too. Okay, you're with Gil. And
There's a lot of love for the creases.
right. Pat says she cleaned her attic instead of stuffing. That was good.
Yes.
I've been cleaning out my closet for like a year. Yes. Although
I'm basically,
my
are you putting stuff back in as you
Right.
well,
clean it out?
I have
Hmm.
promised my granddaughter because her mother has a rule which I think is a fantastic rule, one item in, one item out. So I am doing that now.
Okay.
If I buy something new, then I donate take something out to donate. Although I have also told myself I wasn't going to shop next year, 2023.
Mm.
Yeah.
All next year?
Right.
Until we go to Hawaii. So it would be like the
That's
first 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Like
Okay, all bets
That
start
sounds
today.
like
You can start.
right.
That sounds like prison.
Right.
I'm gonna go do my time.
Right.
no,
Put in the chat who's all
Sounds
in. a
like a
hundred
setup for
dollars is the
failure.
start. Now I'm
hundred
about to get
dollars.
rich.
You said you
hundred
just set
dollars
yourself
start.
up for failure, Jerome.
No, I
Tina
mean,
said, go ahead, I'm sorry. I was
I
gonna
just
say,
find that I'm buying the same thing. So clearly, I don't need to buy one more pair of black pants. Clearly, I have everything from Chico that I need. Like it's just enough. And I think it's COVID 2 years we didn't wear clothes. So some of our clothes are technically still new clothes
new.
because we're just going back to work.
So are
Uh,
you doing the kid count with your items? You want to do that one for me, one for you, one for me, one, two,
I like that,
three for you,
Maurice.
one, two, three for me.
Right.
We
I like
got we
that.
got a comment from our producer that says either way,
Okay.
soap and water has to be part of the process. That's
That is true.
non-negotiable. You can
That
wear all
is.
the deodorant you want, but if you're not washing,
Oh, I'm a super
oh
soap.
yeah.
Everybody knows that I spend a lot of money on soap, a ridiculous amount of money on soap. And like my brother-in-law said, and then it rinses and goes down the drain. Like, what else is it doing? Because I love luxurious soaps
And lotions.
and lotions. Everybody who knows me knows that
You gotta
I
keep the
love them.
skin smooth.
Yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Tracy says she quit smoking on Labor Day.
Yay!
Oh
Oh,
wow.
girl,
Congratulations.
yay! Good for
But
you.
she
Good
then
for
she
you.
fell mouse and started back again.
Oh, girl,
It
no.
counts every day. Every day that you
Yes,
don't smoke, it counts. You just gotta
yes, it
one at
does.
a time.
Yeah. Andrea, hey, girl. Um, that's my best friend, Andrea from childhood. We just saw each other a couple of weeks ago. It's been a long, long time, and it was great to see her. Demeen. So, okay, you guys, let me do the disclaimer while the rest of you are thinking about what you have changed. And if you are still doing everything like you've been doing for the past 20, 25 years, then y'all need to change something,
Well,
pick
Tina
something.
commented real quick, Alma. Tina says, "Well, I moved from the second to the third floor, so I do laundry and grocery shopping different now. 3 flights done changed me."
Right. I could,
I'm with her.
yeah,
Yes,
I'm with that. Count your steps. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Gil
ready
does
to
that though. He'll put things by the stairs. So when he goes up the stairs, he'll
take
do
them.
stuff and then he goes down there. You know, my brain ADD, I'm up and down. But anyway, the disclaimer. So, we are not psychologists with PhDs, but we are a lovely group of people who care about you and will offer you sound common sense advice. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Right. So, we're not here to try to hurt your feelings, but it's like having a conversation with a really good friend who says, well, let's rethink that.
Well,
That's who we are. Right. That's who we are. Rosie, call Judith or text Judith and text Van and tell both of them to log on and watch the show. Because my sister-in-law just sent me a text. I looked at it. It said, tell me what to do. Again, I'm out in my garden. Isn't that sweet? Because she's in Seattle. So it's not it isn't dark out there. Hi Leah. Leah, I should get lashes. You think? Let me know. Anyway,
Hey, Leah.
so with that disclaimer, and now that Leah has joined us, we can get started. I want to thank Charlene Daniels, our volunteer video reader for this evening. Thank you, Char.
Thanks, Charlene.
So let's get started.
Hello, everyone. My name is Charlene Washington, and welcome to Ask Alma. I'm your volunteer video reader for this evening. So let's get right to it. Hey, Alma. My husband was recently invited to a father's only baby shower for my brother in law. I mentioned to my mom that it was stupid and my sister is just looking for more gifts. She told my sister what I said, and now she's mad at me. So technically, I have two questions. Have you heard of these father baby showers? I'm feeling some kind of way about it and wondered your thoughts. Is this a weird or good thing? And second, how do I fix things between me and my sister? Thank you.
I love, love, love this question. Let
Can
me
we first
recap.
find out what fountain of youth Charlene is drinking from?
Girl, I told her that already. I was like, you know what? If you can't add 5 years to your life after 35 years of friendship, like what, girl? What you using? She
Stunning,
laughed.
stunning.
But you know what? Great genes. Her mother and her father have amazing genes. When I was at this is so embarrassing, but y'all know me. When I was at Charlene's wedding a gazillion years ago, I went up to her father. I was like, "Hey, how are you?" He was like, "Fine. How you doing, Alma?" I said, "Good." I go, "I don't remember you. Are you Mr. Daniel's brother?" He was like, "It's me." Alma was like, wait, I have aged, you haven't aged.
Not
Like
right.
we're grown and you still look the same from the first day I met you. Her entire family has good genes, I'm telling you. But yeah, Charlene, let us know the vitamins, girl. Recapping the question. So there's a new thing where the fathers are having baby showers. All men, gifts, balloons, food, whole thing, um, without the wives or the pregnant woman. So, what is that? Have you guys heard about that?
I've heard
I
of
haven't heard about it.
family. I've heard a couple showers
yeah,
where you give the men
couple
and the women
showers.
come. I can't recall this, but I'm like, so what? Let them. They can have their cigars, drink some scotch, celebrate. The fathers rarely get celebrated, so let them
Right.
do it.
Right.
I think
Let
it's
them
I
have
think
fine.
their
it's a good
moment.
thing.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. I mean, any other time, fathers would be complaining like, "Well, it's not about me anyway; it's about you and the baby." So now they get to have their own time, their own party, get together, whatnot. I see nothing wrong with this.
I think it's the father celebrating the birth, a pregnancy, you know, of the child. Because normally when it comes to the father, he's not going to do this, he's not going to do that. Like we'll get beat up, but this is something that they're celebrating. They're
Right.
celebrating having a child. And, it's something that in pretty much in social media in a lot of areas, that's not the norm. We always seen as the one that's leaving the child that we're not around, but this is the polar opposite. And I think it should be celebrated, and
Mhm.
people shouldn't pretty much cast any judgment on it.
Yeah, it's a new thing. And she sent two pictures
Mm.
of, how he's going to have this particular decoration. Um, and that, they are going to have a full blown baby shower. I no judgment. I,
Oh
Well, it
no.
wouldn't be any
When
different
you
if the
start off
guys just got together and had some cigars, watched the game or something. It wouldn't be any
no,
different. It's
that's
just
not. But that's not what that
the
is.
I know, but this is still them getting together
No, what you're
to
talking
be.
about is a sports event.
Does it
That's
have to be
not
a
what
sports
this
event for
is.
them to be together?
Well, with cigars and beer and all of that, they
Well, you
usually
know they had
watching
cigars
something.
and beers at that baby shower too.
That's not what this is. It is the exact same thing you would have for the mother, except it's all men.
Okay. Okay.
So,
well, definitely.
Ernie, that's my cousin. Hey, Ernie, weigh in on this. Tell me what you think, guys' point of view. Um, I don't know. I was kind of thinking it was a little bit weird, but I do appreciate all that you guys said. So I might actually use it for my column and write that it's not a bad thing. But I did think it was, how you've just never seen anything. And the first time you see it, you be like, what they doing?
I felt that way the first time I
But
saw a baby reveal, and they do that
Right.
every 6 minutes
Right.
now.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I hate them,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when the first person did it, you went, "Oh, that's weird. Why would they, go out in a field
Right.
and pop
Exactly.
out?" And
Yeah.
now you
That's
see
what
them
I
all
was
the
feeling.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was
but
But
I
her
feeling.
real issue is that her mom ran her mouth to her sister, and now sister's upset with her.
You know. Maurice, you were saying?
to me, it's a celebration, and I
Yeah.
think that when it's a new celebration, people never heard it before, or it could be something that was started in a different culture, and people
Yeah.
aren't familiar with it, and it's like, well, this makes no sense. A lot of people, when something they're not familiar with, they instantly discount it as this makes no sense. But the
Right.
one question
Right.
I have, when she between the sister and the mother, did she say something negative, or did she just put the secret out there that they were having one?
No, she just said that she thought they were just doing it to get more gifts, like to get more stuff for their baby from other people. But I think like that, who wouldn't say that about their sister or like that to me? I mean, I think the sister is upset because she's pregnant, and when you're pregnant, your hormones like are all over the place because if you have a sister, that's what sisters say to you. Like, what are you doing? Why are
Right.
you doing that? That all sisters do that. So I think like your sister is mad right now because that was part two of the question. So what does she do about her sister being mad? I think your sister's mad right now, but buy a fantastic baby gift and take it on over there and call it a day, girl. Like she ain't gonna stay mad at you forever.
Yes,
Right.
she
But
will. She'll have to take that on the chin for a few years.
Years.
She'll have to take that on the chin for a few years. You know,
Well,
whenever her
Demeen
sister
said,
she's gonna have to take it and keep moving.
yeah, yeah.
Demeen says she needs to tell Mama not to repeat what she said, apologize to sister, and admit she was wrong and had not heard of it.
Now
Mama's
you know
always
Mama's going to repeat
right.
it.
Right.
Mama's
My
going to repeat
mama,
it. So
my mama
Well,
that
got a
when,
ship
whole
has
suitcase
sailed
of stuff
a
she's
long
taking to
time
her
ago.
grave.
yeah, but like, would she tell your brother something that you said?
No,
I think I think my mother pretended that she didn't and just would tell my sister,
don't tell
"Don't
her
tell her
that.
that I told you." And then she would say to me, "Don't
Right.
tell Kim that I told you." Like, and I only had one kid, so I didn't have anybody else to tell, but I thought it was funny that sometimes I would called Josh by the wrong name. Because you know how, like, if you have more than one kid, so mothers sometimes will say the wrong name talking to. I only had one child, which is what he used to say back. You don't know my name? You only have one son.
Yeah, I don't know on that one. I
What did
don't
you
know.
call them?
I would
Right.
call him Have. I would call him my
Oh,
nephew's
your nieces, yes,
names
yes,
and
nephews.
like
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and when
Someone
I was
you
gonna say you
knew.
didn't like call him some random name like
Yes, it
oh
wasn't
Like
like
no.
Earl.
like
you didn't get
Herbert.
upset when he didn't respond.
Like, who is Earl?
Earl who? Bessie said her work friends gave her. And now I've heard of grandmother showers. I've heard. I think too that this whole thing has been dominated as a feminine woman thing to do. And so now, because it was actually a young woman who I was talking to in an email about this, and so here's another thing that I appreciate, that young people sort of take on their own thing.
Mhm.
Like they are not cemented in, you know, in what or the norms of
Right.
how things are supposed to be. And here they are taking on something and extending it out. And like Maurice said, allowing the father to be a part of it. And that was good, Maurice, because I really didn't think of it that way. And I'm glad you did bring that to my attention. I was kind of being judgmental.
But I think it's the thing. I think one thing that's also overlooked is if he got a group of friends, say 20, 30 men, you got 30 men celebrating the birth of one child
Yeah.
or twins, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
whatever situation. But, you know, it goes back in the day when everybody in the neighborhood was like intertwined with you. Like
Right.
your neighbor called and said, hey, I saw Alma out doing da 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 da. The neighbor would get you, plus your parents would get you. And it's kind
Yeah.
of the same thing. Like you have all these guys coming together for a child. It doesn't matter if they gifts or not, but
Yeah.
everything they bring it, they're all celebrating this.
Yeah. That's nice. That
Yeah.
part is very, very nice. Hey Ron, welcome to the show, girl. I think my thoughts have changed because I thought that question was a firecracker, and I was gonna be like, no, don't make no sense. Take up a collection, hand the mama the money, and just call it a day. But no. Okay, I'm open to the guys. No cigars though. Smoking is bad. And we are talking about celebrating a baby.
But the baby's not here yet.
The baby's not, yeah,
And he's not carrying the
he's
baby.
not carrying the baby.
There's no need for him to not have the cigar.
But you
Really,
know,
Aren't you
y'all?
supposed to hand out cigars when babies are born? Isn't that what you do?
right,
You
right.
hand them out, but you don't smoke them. Like you just keep them in that pack forever.
But I think
Like in that little
No,
this
celebration.
no,
Why?
you smoke them.
You smoke them.
Oh,
But I
I,
think when you get the group of guys together and they're getting the gifts, they're not getting it for the guy. If I was going to one, I'm not buying a gift for the father. I'm buying a gift for the child.
Baby.
yeah,
You know, I'm buying a gift for the baby. And most of the guys probably like, I'm not, I'm just coming to celebrate with you and celebrate, but I'm not buying you a gift.
yeah, yeah. I like it though. Y'all really changed my mind on that one because I wasn't into it at first, but I think I am adjusting. And like Gail said, yeah, gotta adjust to the times. Hey Judith, how are you? I'm so glad you joined us. So that was great. That's a great first question. So our advice to her is uh when you tell your mama something and you don't want your sister to know, tell her not to tell your sister. Number one,
Don't
I
tell
don't know
your mama.
Right,
This mama sound like she gonna repeat it no matter what. So
right.
don't tell your mama.
and
For
just
the
tell your
next
sister
five
you were
years, the sister's
joking.
gonna catch it. That's all.
Right. And let her do whatever she needs to do to feel better. You just need to go with it and babysit some
Right.
extra nights. And go for it with the father shower. That's what we're all saying. Is that right, panel?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go for it with the father's baby shower. Send us pictures so we can see. I think that'll be nice too. Okay, great. Thank y'all. That was really good. Yeah, because I was totally going against it. So thank you. See, I told y'all this was the beauty and brains panel this evening. So we are ready for question number 2.
Dear Alma, during a team meeting at work, I came up with a wonderful idea to better assist our members and increase membership. Later, while sitting at my desk, our boss came over and complimented my coworker on submitting such a great idea. I was shocked. I couldn't believe he took my idea to management and took the credit for it. When I asked my coworker about it, he said it was all of our ideas combined that made the suggestion a huge success. Although that's just not true. I am livid. Should I go to my boss and tell him the truth? I don't want to be a part of this team anymore.
Hmm. The
Mm.
stealing of ideas. Hmm.
All that Tuesday in government.
What they call that?
Right.
Tuesday.
I was getting ready to stay. Let's start with our retired member of the panel. What are your thoughts on that question?
I don't know who's a retired member. It's not me.
Right. I'm still
Aren't you
very
retired
much.
one
Like,
time? Maurice retired one time.
One time, but I'm still working.
All right. Well,
I'm
I'm
clearly
not
still
at your
working.
status yet. I'm trying to get there.
the panel member who has retired one time. What do you think?
Well, I think she should express herself to leadership about that. And she should express it in a professional way, like, hey, I understand that he took credit for this, but these are the steps. This is the process. This is how long I've been working to commit to this. And I just want to make sure that everyone is recognized with that.
Right.
And I've seen that in meetings, and it can go horribly wrong where someone would take credit for it. And then when they're asked to explain it, they want to bring up the person who actually did it. So I
Right.
took the
Yeah.
credit from Javon, and then they said, well, John, come up and help me explain this. And she's like, no, I'll sit here. And then it's embarrassment for everyone. I think she
Right.
should take that to leadership, but just do it in a professional manner. And don't, judge that one incident as that one incident. If your team is working great together, don't let one incident ruin it,
Mm,
because
that's
it's,
a good
it's
point.
hard to find a good team that gels well. There's always going to be somebody's going to make a mistake and upset someone in the group. But I think the group as a whole, if they know who did what, should also stand behind that person.
So would you go as an individual or so two questions. Would you go as an individual or and would you put it in writing? Or would you
I'll put
just
it
go
in writing.
Yeah, I was thinking
I'll put
that
it in
too.
writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, I would broach everyone else that's in the group that knows, for feedback and pretty much to have my back if management was to come ask the question. I've
Yeah.
actually experienced that. And management came back,
Really?
who actually came up with this idea? Because I came up with an idea and someone has pitched the idea and they
Mhm.
were like, great, and then when it came out, they were like, okay, and they put the person who said I did it front and center, and then they couldn't answer how they came up with that process.
Mm. Okay. So did you tell them that it was your idea or other people from the team told them that it was your idea?
It was both.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good. I think when
Only
other
because
people
it's something
chime
I
in.
was working on for a while, and I came up with it. And what I did was I ran it by the person, and it's like, what do you think? And I ran the whole process by the person, and within 5 minutes, they set the process off.
What? That's jacked.
wow.
But
Hmm.
you have to look at, a lot of people are trying to find a way to advance themselves and make themselves look good, and that
It
is
sounds like,
unfortunately
Maurice, it sounds like maybe management already knew that that person couldn't have come up with that idea, and that was why they asked. They
right.
they asked him to explain it, and he couldn't because they knew it
Right.
wasn't his idea to start with.
And management did the same thing, sent out the great idea, but then revised that. So you
Wow.
see that a lot nowadays. Everybody's trying to make their mark. Everybody's trying to do whatever they need to do to get promoted. And if that means taking someone's idea and trying to say it's a group idea, or I was a spearhead because I said you're right, I'm part of the
Right.
process, and they seem to have no problem with it. So that's kind
Mm,
of a new cultural thing.
That's terrible.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Javon, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely have experienced that. 20-year government employee.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, there's always going to be that person that will gleefully, want to take the shine away from your idea. But I agree with Maurice. Like, go speak to management professionally. But your moment to shine is when you go in and you explain the thought process, the pros, the cons, because when the person that gleefully takes the idea, they don't say anything else, right? They take the
Right.
idea,
Mhm.
it's theirs, and that's it, and they leave it. But if you go in and you show like, hey, this is what I thought about it, this is the steps that I have implemented, this is the research that I've done, then it becomes clear that, like, oh, wait a minute, even if it didn't click to management at first, that like maybe that wasn't so and so's idea, they
Hmm.
can see that you are actually working towards how to make this idea from concept to execution.
Right.
So you're taking it to the next step, to which you can now be able to explain in performance evaluations, in subsequent meetings, what have you, without having to go like, whoa, wait a minute, that's my idea. And then there's sometimes, I'm just gonna admit, yeah, you got to show them, but the I don't want to say, F around and find out, but sometimes
Right.
you just want to have to let somebody know, like, okay, yeah, you know what, that's great. Let me explain further and
Yeah.
assert yourself at that moment in time in the meeting
Right.
when
Right.
they try to say, oh, yeah, that, wait, let me stop you right there because actually I have been working on this since, and here are my thoughts on this.
Right. And
And
I
that way
discussed it
it's
with you, or I
right, and
mentioned
it
it to you.
cements it in everybody's mind, even if you never had a discussion with anybody else or you only had it with that
Mhm.
one person. But at that moment, you record scratch, and then you had
Right.
that conversation in. So you can either do that, like I said, F around and find out moment,
Yeah.
or you can have it separately with your leadership and let them know. But either way, you want to make sure you assert yourself so that way, and then it also sets the precedent that someone is not going to come back and say, I'm going to take Javon's idea, because they already know from the last time
Right.
to,
She
in
gonna
living
say
color
something.
days,
You gonna say
homie don't
something?
play that. So
Right.
we not doing that at this chipper meeting today. We're not going to do that.
But
Right. Right.
you also have to be careful when a person tries to do that. I work directly for the secretary, and he will put you on the spot. He feels an idea is a great idea. He'll call in all the undersecretaries and everybody in leadership say, hey, you know, did you come up with this great idea? Go ahead, Deidre, you're on the spot.
Right. Tell
Explain it.
me details.
And
Yeah.
right then and there, he wants details.
Yeah.
And then you're stuck like, and he will ask you in front of everybody, so did you not come up with this?
Right. And you know what? But to me too, that's when you have good leadership. Because I
Mhm.
have been in meetings where somebody steals an idea and the person who is running the meeting or whatever will say that's great, but never takes the next step to ask another question. But
Right.
a good leader will then ask a question about it. And what I think is funny is when the person has nothing else.
Right.
Like they said it and they can't answer the second and third question because it was nothing
It
and it
was
wasn't
nothing.
their idea anyway. Oh my
Right.
gosh. Yeah. Yeah. D, have you had anything happen
Yeah,
similar to that?
I was gonna say, as the non-government employee, I can assure you it happens in journalism and in education. I've had it happen recently. My Patty wanted me to say when she overheard him say it. Oh, wait. When did that happen? So I would have
Right.
I wanted her to say something right then. So like, no,
Hmm.
you don't need to be congratulated. You didn't do anything.
Right.
Not wait till the meeting. Javon is the sensible, responsible person. So I would have like, no. When did you do that? You mean the
Right.
meeting we
Right.
just had that I told you that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that,
Yeah.
that that's what I would have wanted to do. I probably would have handled it the way Javon handled it, but yeah.
Because
Wait,
it happens even in meetings. What irritates me is you can say something sometimes and then the conversation flows and then somebody else repeats the
Repeats
same
it.
thing and
right.
maybe adds two words and you're sitting there like, didn't I just say that? Like, what, am I speaking a foreign language or what?
We
And
recently
so,
when it happened
I've
to
had
me.
that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say when it happened to me recently, it was the result of an email that went out, and everyone that got the email had been in the meeting, and they all were like, "Huh?" Like,
That's not.
I was there. That's not how it happened. But I didn't say anything because at this place, where I am, I'm like, this can't be something I, hitch my wagon to. I got other things to be concerned about. So I didn't say anything. I was like, let that person have their glory. If they need that, let them have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens all the time.
And so if someone decides to like conversation flows and they come back and then the credit goes to the other person, that's the moment when you speak. I'm so glad that you agree with the statement that I made earlier. Let me explain even further.
Hmm.
I
And you
like
take
that.
back that control
Right.
ever
Right.
so politely, like, oh, I see that we're all in agreement with what I had previously mentioned.
Yeah.
And
I
once
learned
again,
that
just
too late. Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah,
I learned that
particularly
too late.
you can always, especially in a meeting, you can catch the person in a situation without even saying that's my idea. As Javon was saying, you can say, "Oh well, subsection B, section 12, and it talks about international affairs. Can you explain that further?"
Right.
Right.
You pick
That's
out a
what I was
nuance.
thinking, Maurice. It's like ask them the
Sometimes when
question.
you have that part where it took you the longest to figure that information out, and it's something intricate, that's you question them like, "Okay, well, tell me about that part,"
Right.
and that
Right.
will
Hmm.
Tell me
That's
that
it.
more.
drop the mic on that one and just walk away because and they would try to divert from that question.
Right.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
I would really would like for you to explain that part because that's such an
Specifically.
Right.
intricate part
Hmm.
of this entire proposal. We need that
Exactly.
information further.
Yeah. Hey, Alvin. I see you have joined us. Hey now. Hey
And
now. How are
Danielle, she's
you?
joined us as
And
well.
Danielle is here with us. Hi, Danielle. I
Sean
think
says, I
this
have
would.
learned, I'm sorry, Sean
No,
says,
go ahead.
I have learned not to share my ideas with my boss alone. I have learned to
Mm,
share my ideas with my boss and my team as a whole.
yeah.
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 That's
Wow.
smart. Very
Hey,
smart,
Alvin.
Sean. Oh my goodness, this was fantastic. Because I think sometimes when you have this type of situation happen to you, you don't have a full blown out conversation about it and where and how with ideas and specific sentences to say to help you along the way. So I'm really glad that you guys talked about that in depth because I think it will really help her and help her a lot. Thank you, thank you. So let's go with question number 3.
Hi, Alma. I'm in a really tough position and I could really use your help. I was married very young in my early 20s and we had a beautiful daughter. Of course, like every bride, you think your marriage is going to last forever, but mine didn't. Her dad and I divorced when she was 3 years old. I remarried a wonderful man when she was 7. His family instantly loved my daughter and treated her like one of their own right from the start. Her dad stopped coming around a year later, and we never heard from him again. I tried to reach out over the years and stayed in touch with his brother, but it was never anything serious. Truthfully, my daughter doesn't know any of her father's family. To make this long story short, here is my dilemma. Here we are 20 years later, and my daughter's biological uncle has reached out and wants to reconnect with my daughter. And she said straight up no. She said that her stepfather and his family is her family because they were the family that loved her. She refers to her biological dad as just a donor. Although I'm trying to understand her feelings, I respect her decision. I do think it's important for her to finally meet and see her dad's family. What do you think?
Charlene,
Ooh.
thank you, girl. So to
I knew
recap
there
this
was a loaded question.
question, huh?
I knew
the,
there was a question somewhere.
the recap. So this woman, her second husband raised her daughter. That's the family that she knows. the daughter's biological uncle, not her father, the biological uncle wants to come into the picture now and like introduce her to his family and have her come around. And she has said no, but her mother thinks it's important that maybe she find out who these people are and spend a little bit of time with them. But the daughter says no, no, thank you. I'm good. That's okay. Deuces. I'm out. So, um, what do you guys think? Kendall, my cousin Kendall just commented, "Hey now."
I
So
have two.
I'll jump in
Okay.
as a person who does not have a relationship with their biological father. Um, I had a previous relation. I know him, and I know of his family, but she's 20, right? So this
Yeah, in the
isn't as
20s.
if she is, 7 years old
Mm-hmm.
and you're making this decision because you're her parent. She's 20. She probably has a lot of feelings. There's a lot of things that she's going to need to work through. And you're going to have to just let her work through that. If she wants to have that relationship and be engaged with her father's side of the family, then she has to do that on her own time. To force that type of relationship and to force that type of connection because someone else is now ready to be a part of your life when, uh, once again, coming from my own personal experience, there was a lot of time, right? There was a lot of birthdays, there were a lot of events, graduations, milestones that you could have been a part of, no questions asked. And now you want to kind of jump in at the 11th hour, not saying that, something's going to happen to her anytime soon, but you want to jump in and now kind of pretend that like everything's great, maybe because they have reached a certain point in their life and they want to make amends.
Yeah.
Well, she's not at that point in her life. So until she's ready, let her have her time and her space and be okay with it. It's her decision. Like I said, she's not a kid. She's an
Right.
adult. She's going to need time to just kind of process. She has had a loving family that has shown her nothing but love and safety and security, and to now throw her into a situation where that was not where she did not receive that, where all she needed to was to receive
Right.
it. She didn't need to do anything to get that in return. And now you're expecting her to just freely give that of something that was never given to her, but should have been given to her of no expectations.
So
Yeah.
they're ready now, and they expect her to just jump in and say, "Okay, I
Right.
want to do this."
Mm-mm.
Well,
Right.
my
Nope.
my father reached out to my mother in my 20s, and my mother said, "Give me your number, and I will give it to her. And if she decides to call you, great. And if she doesn't, kick rocks." Um, so I was able to decide if I wanted to do that. I don't know if it was an uncle, if I would have even considered calling, because that's it's like, why isn't my dad here? Would be my first question. While
Yeah.
you're showing up, why isn't my father here? Why isn't that the person that's reaching out to me? So, and there
And I
may be
think
all kinds of
someone
reasons.
asked D if the father was dead. No, the father is still alive.
Okay.
It's the uncle who is now taking or making an effort to reach
Right.
out. Yeah.
And she's
So
20 something, right? She's like,
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
I think with this situation, I remember someone telling me a long time ago, um, you have relatives and you have family. Your family may not be your relatives. So,
That's true.
her stepfather created a family for her,
right.
and
Mhm.
that family wasn't her blood
Oh
relative.
my gosh, Maurice, I'm stealing that. Okay. I love that. Wait, let me write that down. Okay. Keep going. I'm listening.
So, you know, she has that family unit, but now her relatives are reaching out. And I think that they have to give her the respect of letting her go through that process. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they may always just be relatives and never become family to
Hmm.
her,
Right.
but they have to give her the chance to grow into the situation. And again, though it's not the father, at least I give the uncle some respect, saying, "Hey, I'm trying to reach out to figure out, you know, And with that, you also don't know what the father may have been saying to the other side of the family
Hmm.
as well. So that uncle at least took the time to say, "Let me try to find out more information. Let me see if I can connect with you." And in due time, she may not. But at the end of the day, she has a family, and that's the
Right.
most important thing.
Well,
Yeah.
they also have to accept the fact that she may never come around. She may be okay
Exactly.
with her life the way it is and not want to have anything to do with them, and that's okay too.
Right.
I had thought when I was reading it, that maybe the mother wanted her to connect with them for health reasons. You know how people get older? Like I know she's still young, she's 20 something, but I was wondering, for whatever the for whatever reasons the uncle was reaching out. I too, Maurice, thought that was admirable on his part. Like he can't do anything. Um, or force his brother to do anything, I should say, but at least he had come to a place in his life where he felt like he wanted to connect with a niece
But
that
he
he
was
never knew.
equally absent. He
Right.
was equally absent. He
He
could have
was.
been in her life all of this time, even without the father.
Yeah.
He
But I
just chose
wondered
not to.
if it was for I don't know why medical popped in my mind with the mother. I don't know if she wants her to just know who one of them is, just in case she has to answer some medical question one day. I don't know. That was just
Well,
the mother in me, I guess.
and
I
the
don't know.
reality is dating's a challenge if you don't know your relatives, especially if you live in
Girl.
the same town.
See,
Right.
but you could also have some, um, hereditary condition,
Hmm.
from
Right.
his side of family. So on that part, I mean, she could probably establish just a general conversation with the uncle. But I mean, I can see some reason, but even with that, it's still her decision. And I
Yeah.
had a similar situation in my family, and when she found out that my uncle was her father, she got upset, and she
Mhm.
thought it. And I was like, "Why did you get upset?" She said, "Because your other uncle was the one that would come pick me up. He took me on my first date. He said,
Oh.
this is what you accept and not accept from boys,
Mhm.
and stayed constantly in her life."
Yeah.
So for her, though that's her uncle, she sees him as her father. That's
Hmm.
family.
Yeah.
But her father is her relative, is the person that is her biological, but that's all she considers him.
Yeah. I think that is certainly something that happens too, that you in your mind you think this person is, or you have built them up to be a specific person in your
Hmm.
mind, and sometimes later in life when you meet them it is such a huge disappointment because you have thought all these things about this person and then you finally meet them and are like,
Because
wow.
I think by nature you create good. You want to believe that this
Yeah.
person's a good person. He's healthy. He's handsome. He's kind. He's rich. All of those things.
Yeah.
And if he was all those things, he probably would be around.
Right, but you don't wanna think negative about your
Right.
parent when you're
Right.
little. That
No.
because, this changes the subject a little bit, but I was telling this woman at work about how, because you guys know how with single mothers, I used to love to go decorate for them, especially when they moved to a new place because it was so hard to, get all the money together just to get a place. And so I would get furniture from anywhere that I could get it from. And one time with this little girl, I fell in love with her so much. We got back in the truck and we drove back home, and I took Joshua's bedroom furniture, and he was yelling, "Mom, what are you doing?" And I was like, you can get some more furniture. We need this furniture for this little girl. And so was talking to a woman about it because I had completely forgotten about it. It was so long ago. And so I called Josh while I was driving home and I was like, "Josh, I was thinking about this today and talking to somebody. And I said, I was wondering if you remembered." He goes, "What? When you stole the furniture from my bedroom when I
Yeah,
was
when you get that.
11?" So I laughed. He said, "Yeah, I remember it. I'm in therapy about it now." So I was like, you are so crazy. But at the same time, we don't know how, like, sometimes we think because we are the parent or the older person that it's going to be this way. But the
Right.
young person, or, she's 20, she's still kind of young.
Hmm.
How she's thinking about it, I think, is more in line with what Javon was saying. So her mom, has this idea of, well, now that you know who these people are, here's your opportunity to go out
Hmm.
there and meet them. And she's like,
That's all
I'm
right.
good. Right. I
We
haven't.
have we have a question in the private chat. It says, "Would the answers be different if the absent parent was the mother instead of the father?"
Ooh.
Yes, I can answer that. I was a single parent. That was me. So I can say yes, it would be different. It's different in the treatment of the situation. And I think that when it's the mother, excuses are made. Well, we don't know what was there. When it comes to
Going
the
on
mother,
with
there are a
her.
lot of excuses that are made. But when it comes to the father, it's almost like they see it as a norm.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
but I
So,
think
so if you're encouraging your child, the mother is absent, and now at 20, you're encouraging your child to go see their mother. Is 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 it okay for us to force that child to go see their mother, or
Mm-mm.
should they still
no,
have the
no,
decision? Okay.
no. The decision
No.
still should be theirs. But I think when it's the mother, just in general, society
I do
would
too.
give more of a pass than
Mhm.
if it was the father.
She
Yeah.
must have been ill. She must have had
Right.
somewhere
Must
to
have been
go.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard all kinds of things, but at the end of the day, the child, no matter if it's a male or female, girl or boy, is going to feel the same. You have to work on, if that relationship is mendable, that's something that you, as the other parent, I felt like I needed to lend my hand in mending that relationship because
Between
at
the
the end of
mom.
the day, between the mom, there could be you know, medical issues that could be down the road. If I get hit by a car wreck, at least they mended that. You know what I mean? Especially when they
Yeah.
were growing up. So they have other people that they can turn to.
Yeah.
But either way, I think it's a scar on a child, and no matter what, even if they mend, it's still going to be in the back of their mind. So if 10 years from now, after they've started a relationship, and the person walks off, they're not going to be surprised. It's going to be like, well, I mean, at least I knew you for X amount of time. And I think another thing is culturally, we always associate family with relatives. And
Hmm.
they would say, well, this person, that person's no good, but that's your cousin, that's your
Right.
father,
Right.
that's
That's
your
it.
mom,
Yeah.
that's your
Yeah.
sister. But that
Yeah.
I think we have to get out of that mindset that necessarily doesn't have to be. Because I have friends that would drop everything, would show up to my house faster than some relatives. They were like, "Well, you sure you need me to come? I'm
Right.
playing bingo tomorrow at 5. I don't know if I can make it there."
Yeah.
But friends that would just drop everything,
Yeah.
move
My
heaven and
car
earth.
accident. My car accident. My family, my mother, my father, you guys already know this. My mother, my father, my sister have already passed away. When I was in my car accident, my friends who are my family, were there. Javon cooking for me. It was good too, girl. And like they showed up, D showed up. Like it was my cousin Demeen reached out to me. It was friends and yeah, like two family members who came up with food, because that's the thing. When you because some people say, let me know what you need me to do for you, but when you're in the situation, you can barely get those thoughts pulled
Right.
together. It's the people who show up and drop the bag off at the door. You good? You need me to go to the drugstore and pick up something? It's that kind of thing that makes a difference. And a lot of times, you're right, Maurice. It's not the blood relative. It is the. So wait, it's
The
the
other,
family you have made for yourself. Is that right? Am I saying
yeah,
it right, Maurice?
not
Because
relatives.
Not
not
necessarily that,
relatives. Say it
but
It's your
again.
chosen family.
it's your chosen family.
Yeah.
Because to give you an example, Javon and I, one of the pastors of the church, their child lost their car. And so she called
Lost.
and
Her
she lost
car.
her car. So she
Oh,
parked. She never been to Philly before. She lost. She was panicking. And so Joanna and I was talking on the phone, like, oh well, you know what? Let's go to Philly. And
right.
so we drove up to Philly that night. And
They found
like
her car.
3 o'clock in the morning, we found
Mm-hmm.
her car
Yeah.
and sent
Yeah.
her a picture. This is where your car was, because we knew that if we needed something, they would be
Right.
right there.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so so true.
And
It
This
so,
occurred
was
to
good.
me. It occurred to
Uh-huh.
me recently during the hurricanes, and I said this, of course, talking to myself, that some people don't ask you if you need help because they're afraid you're going to say yes.
right,
Yeah.
So you at some point just have to stop waiting for those people to come.
Yeah.
You have to know that the people that are going to come will come, and the rest of them, kick rocks.
Yeah.
right.
And
You should
Kendall,
have access to the
he agreed with Maurice that there's just, an inherent
Maybe so.
assumption about fathers. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Yeah, because you got a great father, Kendall. And I have to wrap it up. My cousin Tracy, shout out to her too. When I had my accident, she was right there too. But can y'all believe it? It's 8 o'clock already.
Wow.
So I know. Oh my gosh, I am
But
so grateful.
Tracy's saying that some people want to help but can't, and those aren't the people that we're referring to. Because if
Right.
you
No,
can't
not
help, you
those.
can't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
everybody understands that. But
yeah. And my cousin Ernie, he's one of those. Like, if when you need him, he is there. Now, in between, he will tell you, I got something else to do. No, I can't show up for that. But I mean, I can even remember being somewhere where I should not have been, and my cousin Ernie rolling up on me. He said, "Follow me," which meant get in your car right? And follow me on out of here because you're not gonna be up in here tonight, okay? So I'm always grateful to him. Um, love you guys. What a nice picture, Javon. I know he's watching.
Every
Yes,
milestone, he's
yeah,
been present.
my husband is solid. I'm telling you,
mhm.
he is solid. He's gonna show up for every, and you can invite him a year in advance. And you know what? I call Maurice Gill Jr. I don't know if I've ever said it in front of him, but he is just like
That's
Gill. You
facts.
can count on him. He's gonna show up. He's gonna be right there. So absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's just certain people who they are solid, and I am
Yes.
so grateful that they are in my lives. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, panel, for being here tonight. This is such a wonderful show. Charlene, thank you, my sister girl, for doing the questions for us tonight. Don't forget D and me. We want to know those vitamins that you're taking,
Right.
girl, so we can take some. Everybody, please share tonight's show on your social media. I would very much appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you guys next Tuesday. Have a great week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
take care.